A Fox News alert now. Iran's foreign minister is admitting that U.S. strikes on Tehran's nuclear program did serious damage.
Let's get right to Mike Tobin, live for Israel. Good morning, Mike.
Good morning, Lawrence. We're still in the mode of trying to determine the extent of the damage done to Iran's nuclear program by this 12-day war. But former U.S. Secretary of State Condoleezza Rice appeared on Brett Baer's show last night, and she said, among other things, it was irresponsible to leak and publish the early low-confidence intelligence reports. She also said that the Iranian nuclear program has been set back and the entire region changed by 20 months of war since October 7th.
When you look at what the Israelis were able to do to Hezbollah, what they were able to do to Hamas, the significant efforts against the Iranian military establishment, against scientists, this really is a now crippled Iran. And a crippled Iran is good for the region.
Iran's foreign minister, Abbas Araghchi, spoke on Iranian state TV. He undermined what was said by the Grand Ayatollah and said significant damage was done to Iran's nuclear program.
I must say that the damage is excessive and serious. But for the inspectors to visit, that is a decision that must be made. And in my opinion, in accordance with the law of the parliament, the Supreme National Security Council should make this decision.
Now, Araghchi also countered President Trump and said there are no plans for Iranian and U.S. representatives to have any dialogue in the near future. Also, Iran's Guardian Council passed a measure that would ban cooperation with Iran and the UN nuclear watchdog, the IAEA. The Director General of the IAEA has been pressing to get his inspectors on the ground in Iran. He said if Iran stops cooperating, that would put them outside of international law. Gang, back to you.
Hey, Mike, do you think it's significant that the foreign minister says there was substantial damage and the Grand Ayatollah minimized it? Aren't they usually on the same page?
I think they should be on the same page, and I think it's quite remarkable the fact that you have the foreign minister coming out on Iranian state TV of all of the venues countering what was said by the Grand Ayatollah. He's going through the state channels and breaking ranks, if you will. So I think that's a remarkable development. You think that Araghchi, he's more of a modern guy. So it's something to watch, and it's quite significant.
Yeah.
Is that foreshadowing what's to come?
A lot of people losing power?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, it's tough for me to tell what is to come, but I certainly think that is a remarkable development.
Mm-hmm.
All right, thanks, Mike. Thanks, Mike. You know, it also said the 86-year-old Grand Ayatollah, he evidently is known as a good speaker and motivate or inspirational to people that want to listen to him. He said they appeared more tired than he was just a week ago, speaking in a hoarse voice and occasionally stumbled over his words, which is rare for him. So maybe he's feeling the pressure of the greatest attack since his reign.
Well, he's been literally underground, hiding. I mean, essentially, the president of the United States saved his life because the Israelis wanted to take him out. And the president gave him some grace, especially after he greenlit an assassination on his life. The president said, not right now. We know where he is. Let's keep him there.
And Donald Trump said if they try to rebuild, then we won't hesitate to launch another strike. And General Jack Keane talked to you about that. Listen.
This is a diabolical regime that likely has already made up its mind to recover and rebuild its nuclear enterprise. That's where these guys are. But listen, they're on their knees in a way they never have been. As you mentioned the commentary about the Ayatollah doesn't look as good as he used to look. I think we're on the cusp of some real paradigm change. First of all, dealing with Russia and China, none of them came to assist their partner. We have leverage with Russia and China that we did not have before the strike because it reflects Americans' boldness and strength. This is all about the President of the United States, and he's the one that has a relationship with both of those leaders. I think his hand has gotten stronger in dealing with them, you know, as a result of this.
There's no question. Is the Middle East going to be remade? Is that too optimistic? We'll find out because the foreign minister also said in those remarks, I don't have a meeting scheduled with the U.S. I don't know what they're talking about. So President Trump said, yeah, they reached out. They want to have a meeting. So get it together, guys. What is it?
Well, Marco Rubio also said that if they were to have a meeting with Iran, they're not doing this middleman person anymore.
No more handing notes.
They want directly with the Iranians, and they want to get a deal done. So we'll see if they really want peace.
The next thing has to be Gaza and the hostages.
Yeah.
And I think the people of Israel
It's all
said,
connected.
Yeah.
But isn't it interesting that just shows you what Israel is capable of? Because Senator Kennedy said that if they try to rebuild, Israel will know. They have people on the ground there.
Mossad is just great.
They are great because this intelligence is just incredible. They even knew when they put cement over those vents at Fordo.
Yeah.
And they, with the first strike, blew off that cement, and then the rest of the bunker bombers went down into the mountain or into that hole.
We just need to find out where the 400 kilograms of uranium is.
But doesn't
that's
it? Yeah,
enriched to 60%.
Absolutely. But isn't it amazing the capability of Israel with our help? But what Israel's capable of, they could do that to the Gaza Strip if these hostages weren't there.
And they know that,
Yeah.
right? So they started with over 200. Now they're down to, I think, 20 are still alive.